If you're a VR player, you almost certainly have tried out Rec Room at some point, maybe simply because it's free, but probably because everybody else plays it.
Yeah, I'm not even a VR player, and I know about this game, so if you guys own a headset, there's absolutely no excuse for you to have not played Rec Room yet.
Rec Room has become kind of the go-to game, and I'm a big fan of free games on the Vive simply because it allows you to get a chance to kind of feel out what works and what doesn't work for you, what you enjoy, what feels good, such as locomotion, whether or not you want to be in room scale or if you want to be teleporting or whatever it is. I'm a big, big fan of free, and this is kind of the granddaddy of free VR games as it is.
Yeah, free is always great. So what exactly do you do in Rec Room, though? Like, I've seen people playing it, and it seems like you can do lots of different stuff, right?
Rec Room is kind of like a rec room.
Right, so with the YMCA Rec Room, I'm assuming you have lots of different, like, recreational sports. It makes perfect sense.
Hey guys, I'm Moriarty, and obviously this is Rec Room.
Yeah, and I'm Brax.
So there are a lot of different sports. There's disc golf, there's paintball, there's charades, which I have not tried yet because it just looks really, really dumb to me, but I totally respect that other people are interested in it. And they've also added in a couple of different newer features over the past month or two, one of which is a multiplayer shooter. So you jump in and you've got these laser guns, and up to 4 people go through this fantasy or sci-fi world trying to get to the end, and as you move forward, things drop down. It's like a quest.
Like laser tag quest.
More like an instance in WoW,
Oh, okay.
where you and your group go into this dungeon and you have to complete whatever the quest is by going through the whole dungeon. It reminded me very strongly of World of Warcraft, actually.
That's interesting.
I think it's interesting because I never expected to see something like that in a game about sports.
That's why I said laser tag. That's the first thing that I thought about when you said there's laser guns, and then you said all of that other stuff, and I was like, huh?
It's not in any way like you would expect. It's very much a game. I don't know. You're going to be doing a quest to kill something or get a sword or whatever. And there are actually swords and shields and bows and all sorts of crazy stuff. There's laser guns. It's incredibly fun. It's way more fun than anything else in this entire game.
Oh, so the one activity that isn't sports is funner than all of the activities that are sports. That makes a lot of sense.
It's so much fun.
Well, that's the important thing. If it's fun, it's fun.
And it really is. It's a total blast. They also added in other things more recently, as in like in the past few days, where now you can actually choose to make different faces. Right now it just kind of works off of the audio that it's getting from your mouth. So when you're being loud and going like ha ha ha, it will assume you're laughing and it will make like a laughing face. But now you can choose what emotes you want to do. I'm not sure that that's going to change a whole lot, but it shows you where they're trying to go with Rec Room, which is they're trying to make this a social get-together thing where you can hang out with friends. And it is really interesting to hang out with people that you've never met in real life in virtual reality and see their avatar sitting there and talking to you, and it's actually their height and things. For example, I am much, much taller than War Owl.
Right? I could tell that just by watching him stream.
Oh yeah, he's tiny. He's itty-bitty.
And looking at your avatar, I'm assuming that you're a woman who wears a visor. I like it.
I am, in fact, a woman in this, but that's fine because it's actually genderless. Like, all that determines gender is what hairstyle or clothes you put on. There is no gender choice.
Androgynous VR.
Yeah, totally. And you know what? I appreciate that they decided to do something like that. I think that's the type of forward-thinkingness that works in VR. You can block somebody and they'll go completely invisible, and you won't hear them anymore. However, they can still troll the crap out of you.
How can they troll?
There's a lounge, right, where you can go in, and there's a table with cards on it. Me and Crypto and War Owl, we were like, hey, we should play some Texas Hold'em. I mean, what else do you do when you see a table and a bunch of cards on it?
Absolutely. I've been trying to orchestrate an online poker night, so this is wonderful news.
Except that some random person can decide to walk up to your table and start touching all the cards.
Oh, no. Like, even if they're not partied up?
Even if they're not partied up. So you go ahead and you block this person, and now they're invisible, but they're still grabbing your cards off the table and throwing them in the air.
See, that pisses me off worse than if someone got too close to me, you know? That's what makes me mad, if you throw my cards around.
Exactly! It's infuriating. Like, you set everything up, somebody just reaches in and throws everything in the air.
Right? It would be VR boxing after that, man. I would be hot.
Yeah, so that sucks, and that means that it's not really something that you can choose to do. But I'd like to see them do a proper poker room where somebody can't touch stuff, or, you can do betting and maybe have a dealer.
Yeah, totally. That sounds like it would be a lot of fun.
We've actually done this game as a video before, but we've never done a proper review of it before. What we did was kind of more of a montagey thing, and you can see that up in the corner right now. This time, I feel like the game is actually complete enough to talk about it and say whether or not it is worth it, whether or not it's worth the time, and to steal from the Golden Bolt, the game may be free, but your time is valuable. He doesn't deserve a good tagline like that.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He's a terrible person, but I guess he's an okay reviewer.
I suppose, if you have no other choices, but he doesn't deserve the tagline, so it's really my tagline now, and I will fight him for it.
Absolutely. Sponsored by Rec Room, Bolt versus Moriarty. I love it. But is this game worth it, though? Now that you think you have enough here for you to make an actual verdict, is it worth it? I mean, it's free, so of course it's worth it. Is it worth a download?
I think that if you've got at least one friend with a Vive, I think that's the determining condition. Yes, it's absolutely worth it if you have at least one friend who also has VR.
Yeah, totally.
In that case, this is a must-have game.
I mean, for me, that makes perfect sense. I would not want to go out and play Frisbee or play poker or paintball by myself, So, of course, if you have a buddy to play this with, I would absolutely love to.
Or worse, with randoms.
Oh, no.
The game has a problem with children. They recently added a way to report kids. So if they're children, you can report them for being children.
I mean, I knew that Crypto hated kids. I didn't know that you hated kids, too.
I don't hate kids. What I do hate is playing in VR in a serious game like paintball or disc golf or whatever, and hearing little children screaming the whole time.
I absolutely agree. I was only messing with you about the hating kids thing, even though you probably do. But I think at least they're taking initiative. If you can report kids, that's good, right? It means that they're aware of it and they're trying to eliminate that sort of stuff. So that's another encouraging sign.
They've added in the report feature. They've added in little changes here and there. They've added in more games. They've added in the blocking feature. They've added in all this cool stuff. These little things that they've added in. It feels like it's becoming a complete game. I think at this point, this is a complete game. It is a released game, even if it's still in early access.
Super.
So yes, I think it's worth it. I think you should pick it up. I think that if you have a Vive and you have a friend, you should play it. I think that if you have nobody, if you're a lonely, sad man like Crypto, you might not want to pick it up, simply because you have to interact with randoms.
That's a fair assessment.
How many times have you played a PUBG match where you had an open space rather than have a full team just because you don't want a random person?
I always turn off auto matchmaking every single time.
I mean, how many games can you think of where you enjoyed having a random person put into your group with you?
None. We here at Grymore Gaming hate randoms, okay? Let's make that very clear.
Absolutely. It's terrible. It's the worst experience to have somebody that you don't know playing with you and affecting your score. Like CSGO. The only way to win in CSGO and get good is to build a 5-man team to eliminate the randoms.
Yeah, randoms are a huge reason that I don't play competitive in CSGO, to be completely honest.
It sucks. It sucks playing with random people.
Terrible.
Like, if you're getting trolled by your friend, that's fine. They're your friends. And you may hate them. You may say, oh my god, that person's a real dick. At least you get to do it back to them in the next game or whatever it is. You get to have fun and play with them. You don't have to deal with this is some random troll ruining your life.
If the game is based on that social environment that they're trying to build, that makes randoms even worse, for this particular game. It's like, absolutely not.
So there you go, guys. That's Rec Room. I think it's finished. I think you should pick it up. I think it's definitely worth the price.
I like it. I like it a lot. I would definitely pick it up. Definitely would recommend.
If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. But if you did like it, why don't you go ahead and check out another one of those videos right up there in the corner. And as always,
we'll see you on the next one.